Hi, everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Have you seen or heard about this story?
A father and a daughter were sitting in a Starbucks when a lady comes up to them and starts recording them, making an odd comment about they look like a beautiful all-American family. Well, this clip on TikTok goes viral to the point where people start looking at this clip and they're saying this isn't right because the father and the daughter were holding hands inside of the Starbucks. People start accusing the dad of being all sorts of bad things, all because they were holding hands as they were enjoying their Starbucks. Apparently, it went viral to the point where people started making groups about them. They started making posts. They found who he is. They found his personal information, started putting it out there and accusing this man of being inappropriate with his daughter because they were holding hands. All they were doing was holding hands at the table. There is no other proof. There is no other background story to this other than the fact that people saw a clip of the dad and the daughter holding hands and they decided that was wrong and they took it way too far.
Excuse me, I am weird. I know I am weird, but this is your dad. Honey, you guys are gorgeous. Like, amazingly gorgeous. Instead of trying to peek over here and not say anything, but I just had to come out and say it. You guys make the all-American family.
Yeah. Now, this one has started a whole different conversation about father-daughter relationships or how fathers show affection to their daughters. The lady posted a video on Facebook, right? And I think they said the caption she put under the video was find the real parent or something like that. And they started a whole thing, and now the father, you know how social media is like when something comes out, people are doxing him, trying to find his job and so on and so forth. Turns out he's truly her father. Okay. Now, some people were like, it was a bit much for a father and daughter relationship. And others are like, if you don't have a good father in your life, don't project your traumas onto other people. Others are calling for her to be sued for filming them and posting it online and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of men who are like, this shows how misandrous women are to men and so on and so forth. It's a whole lot. Okay. So I want to know what you think about this. So let's get into what people have to say quickly. And I'm going to come back and read some of the comments. Okay. And you leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you.
So a father can't hold his daughter's hand? Look, just say some of y'all got daddy issues and y'all just waiting for the right man to come along and say, okay, baby girl, I got you. If you haven't heard, there's a video circulating on TikTok of a father holding his daughter's hand. The problem is a lot of people are taking it the wrong way. A lot of people are calling him a PDF file, or I recognize a PDF file when I see one. The lady was just simply complimenting them. Why does everything have to be over-sexualized? And if you actually had a father in your life, you would understand the importance of healthy affection. You would recognize healthy affection. The man was simply just having coffee with his daughter. Now, I think that woman meant well, but walking up to them and recording them was very creepy. That was the creepy part, because you are invading their privacy. Even in public spaces, you are allowed to have privacy. Just sad that this man has gotten so much backlash for this. Now he has to walk around with a scarlet letter, if you will, on his back. It's embarrassing, it's humiliating, and it's just flat out wrong. Fathers get a bad rep sometimes. I hate to say it.
Now, I know we're not giving parents a hard time for going to Starbucks and holding their kids' hands and having a conversation with them, right? Right. Because what I saw in that video was a dad who has a daughter who's coming to an age where there's probably going to be a lot of father-daughter conversations where he's holding her hands and saying, listen, babe, I love you, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm always here for you. There are going to be a lot of father-daughter conversations that require that man to hold his daughter's hands. That man is going to have a lot of those types of conversations with his daughter for the rest of her life. There's going to be a day where she gets married and he's holding her hands and he's sobbing, bawling his eyes out right before he walks her down the aisle, right? But my thing is, the people that are giving this man a hard time and give parents a hard time for having loving relationships with their kids are people who did not have healthy relationships with their parents. They either had one parent that just was completely out of the picture, or both parents were there, but they weren't super loving, caring, involved parents. Unfortunately, that's not your fault. It's not your fault, but you shouldn't make it someone else's problem that you don't know what a healthy relationship is. What we need to do is bring back minding your own business. That's what we need to do. Unless you see something that is actually a problem, we just need to blinders, like the horses. Just look straight ahead.
For that lady that walked up on that man holding his daughter's hand at that Starbucks, I honestly feel like she should undergo litigations, because that video went ridiculously viral, and they was calling this man a PDF file. They was calling him not a real dad. They basically was saying that he was calling him a PDF file. I've heard they started hate groups on this man. It spread it like wildfire, and this man was starting to get a jacket put on his back that came out to be not true. That's actually his daughter. And they was just there showing some type of affection to his daughter, like everybody would like for a man to do with his little girl. And in the comments, she was egging on those accusations, talking about, can y'all please send this to the real mother and the real dad? And this is why the internet is a horrible place. You people are out of control. Shouts out to the dad.
And to that lady that walked up to the dad and daughter in Starbucks, you dead ass wrong. Not only wasn't you minding your own damn business, you walked up to them recording with a phone. You already had your intentions in your head and you thought what it was, but it wasn't that. I get it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. You just want to be aware that stuff is not happening. You could have easily started a cool conversation to figure out that information, but yet you assumed and went off that. And then after you got that information, you proceed to post a video. So we know what you all about. You go out your way and try to ruin somebody's life over your assumptions. And then when you get the truth and get the answers you're looking for, you still go out your way to ruin somebody's life. And I think when people do this stuff, it should have consequences behind it, because you can literally ruin somebody's life. And they saying they got pages and Facebook groups talking about this man, trying to find where he lived, trying to find his job. And for people to not know all the details, for them to go out their way and do that, that's crazy work. And to me, that's really miserable. You got to be miserable.
So let me get this straight, right? A nigga can't even hold his own daughter hand, be in the company of his daughter, love her, admire her, things of that nature, because you bitches was daddyless. So when you see a nigga comforting his baby girl, you go over there and you start projecting some of the most weirdest shit ever onto a nigga, because your daddy wasn't there for you. So when you see a man loving his daughter, you think, oh, this ain't right. This has to be a PDF. This has to be a you bitches is, oh my God, I'm done.
The reason why some of y'all were so quick to jump to the conclusion that the dad at Starbucks holding his daughter's hands was a predator is because of the hatred that some of y'all have for men in general. Because here you have a dad at Starbucks with his daughter waiting on coffee, holding his daughter's hand. And this woman walked up to him and recorded this man and tried to label him a predator. And so many people were in the comment section talking about this man. Someone had to find pictures showing that it's his daughter for y'all to stop attacking this man in the comment section. Also, they made hate groups for this man on Facebook, talking about him, trying to find his job, trying to get this man arrested for sitting in Starbucks with his daughter. And to the woman that recorded that video, I do understand that your intentions were good, but make sure before you do something like that, you know what you're talking about. Because as you can see, you could potentially ruin somebody's life because of your assumptions.
Yeah, now I can't read all the comments, so I'm going to put some on the sides and try to explain some of the comments I've read about this whole situation. Okay. Now this lady is saying that when she posted the video, it was the men in the comment section that started, saying all these things about the video. You can pause and read some of the comments. Some are saying that it was inappropriate, okay? Some are saying it was inappropriate, and others are like, there's a lot of sex trafficking and things going on that we see all the time on social media. So, yeah, she may have been wrong for filming it, but what if something bad was actually going on. But then there was a lot of men who were not happy about it. They were like, so now fathers can't show affection to their daughters. Fathers can't be loving towards their daughters without being judged. It's now becoming difficult to be a real father, and so on and so forth. It's rather unfortunate that this is happening to this man and his daughter. But these things are happening around us. I'd like to know what you think about this situation, because I feel like, yes, they're doxing him, they're coming for him and so on. This is like, it's gone all the way left, okay? It might not have been her intention, or it might have been her intention. Maybe she thought she was looking out for the little girl, okay? Maybe she was just complimenting them, but then she posted it became something else, and yes, now we are here and everybody's giving their own thoughts and opinions about it. But these things do happen. There's another story that I was even going to post, but now I don't even know if I should post it or not, because it will feel like I'm justifying the woman's behavior. This little girl, 10-year-old, got pregnant by her stepfather. Okay, the mother and the grandmother covered it up, and she's had the child, and now they are all been arrested and so on and so forth. It's a mess. Maybe I'll post it, okay? But some of these things happen. But then at the same time, how do you know if this one is a good relationship, or should everybody just start minding their business and look away when you see something that may not seem right to you? I see a lot of these social experiments on social media of women walking with a man. She's signaling for someone to help her, but you see a lot of people walking past, okay? I don't know if you remember the What Would You Do show that, I think it's on YouTube. If you search it, you find it. You'll see people in certain situations where you expect public or people in the public to help, but nobody stands up for them and so on and so forth. And it's like, you don't want to get in a situation where it's something like this. What if it's just a father and daughter, having a good time? What if, she's met the wrong father and daughter, and now she's made a mess of their life? But maybe she was just looking out for the little girl, okay? Maybe she was just looking out for her. But then this has gone all the way there because social media again. So in situations like this, it's a bit hard now, because the thing is, how would you know if it's just a mother and son or a father and daughter? When you end up finding out that they were actually being trafficked, or they're being kidnapped, or something weird was happening in the family and nobody knew about it. It's crazy. You let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you again in another video. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.